And we back! The Boston Celtics just lost in the NBA Finals, which means in the KOT4Q fashion, we have to rebuild them. I see this as a successful season for them. Starting off 23-24 and getting to the finals is an amazing feat, but obviously they were a couple games short. But Jason Tatum's 24, Jaylen Brown is 25, defense player Marcus Smart is still on the roster, so they have some pieces to maybe replicate some of the things that they did this season, but my job is to get them over that hump, because they struggled against the Warriors, and I need to fill those holes for them to win that championship. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Let's get into it. I have an entire channel named Kenny For Real where I exclusively talk basketball, so if you want to hear my opinions about Game 6, about the NBA Finals in entirety, hit that link in the description. The Kenny For Real channel is all basketball, but this is what our roster looks like. I mean, you know this. You just watched the NBA Finals. We have some big decisions to make, though. I'm pretty sure Al Horford has a option worth 26 amps. Oh, it's a team option. Ooh, that changes things quite a bit. Okay, so I was thinking that we were going to have to guarantee him this money because I thought it was a player option. But it being a team option, we can deny the team option and rework his deal so it's not 26 amps, because though Al Horford was great in his playoff run, he's also 36 years old. And if we give him 36, we already got Jaylen Brown at, I'm sorry, not 36, 26. We got 28 here. And then with Tatum, we got 30. You know, we got Marcus Smart here for 17. It doesn't give us a ton of wiggle room to become the team that we want to be. So I need to get Al Horford back because he was so important, but not for this price tag. We got to see if we can get him here and hope that no other team offers him more money than us. So we've got to be taking a gamble, ladies and gentlemen. We have Daniel Tice, who I'm trying to move. Didn't really play many minutes for them. I mean, he had his moments throughout the season where he was impactful, but this is the amount of money that we want to give to somebody else to help our roster. So that's a trade piece. Though I really like what Derek White brought them for the second half of the season after the trade, this type of money, I do think that we can get somebody a little bit better if we package that with a couple of the pieces. We do, again, I really do like what Derek White brought them, but in the last couple games of the finals, let's be real, he was struggling out there. The defense was still there, but he was struggling offensively, and I feel like we can have somebody that can play solid defense but bring more on the offensive side of the ball. We have to figure out Grant Williams. Maybe we just give him the straight up team option and think about the money next season. But Grant Williams has to be a staple on this team. He was really, really good for the majority of the playoffs. Again, we got to the finals. He kind of got played off the court in one way or another. But I do believe with him only being 23 years old, he showed the world, hey, I'm a good role player. Give me to shoot some corner threes and play some defense against bigger offensive players. I can do that. And then we got people like Aaron Nesmith, who was a lottery pick for us. Luke Cornett, Jawan Morgan, Nick Stauskas. Majority of these guys are probably gone. Malik Fitz. But I mean, I want to bring back Aaron Nesmith, but the way 2K works, oh, it's a team option because this is on year 2. So he'll probably be on the roster next season. Maybe he blossoms to be in 85, 86, and now he's a rotational player. I don't really know. But anyway, we have some big old decisions to make. We go to the NBA draft. We do not have our own first round pick. We only have a second, but the NBA draft could be a place that we go to potentially make some deals. One person that's in the trades a lot, at least in real life, people are like, oh, this person would fit perfectly, is Malcolm Brogdon, who's making $22 million this season. And straight up like this, salary matches. I don't know if this is a trade I want to do right here on draft night. I mean, they're going to say no to this anyway. We have to throw them a future asset because, you know, I think that they're willing to move Malcolm Brogdon. He's 3 years left on his deal. They just started their rebuild, but they're not taking 3 years left on his deal. Derek White, same contract length, and be like, that's a good deal for us. No, if they're gonna do this trade, they're like, give us a first round pick or something like that. Or maybe it's Aaron Nesmith. After we give him his team option, Aaron gets thrown to the team, and that's their young asset in maybe a couple seconds. I don't really know, but I don't think it's a trade we can do right now. But we do have that end of the second round pick, and though these picks don't usually turn into anything, Matt Cleveland, what do you do well? I mean, he's a big wing. I'll take big wings around here, baby. We need some people that defend. We already had, oh my God, AJ Griffin jumped up to the top 3. Sheesh. Hey, not my draft. Not my draft. We'll give you that little money from the second half of the second round. All right, so this is where things go down. Aaron Nesmith, Peyton Pritchard, Grant Williams, all staying around, while Al Horford, we gonna try to do a thing, Al. I hope that Al just has the loyalty to understand the situation. He's got 0 offers, and it's looking about $15 million. That's a good deal. Oh, it's gonna be less than that. Hey, that's a good deal. And you know what? I'm gonna be kind of a jerk and give him a team option because he's 36. He's gonna regress. I know in real life they probably gonna take care of him a little bit better than this, considering he's been a staple for them in and out of the last couple years. But if I could get bro on like 22 M's, I think that's a steal personally. Al Horford is back, And we also have like our mid-level exception, which is pretty interesting. And I'm trying to figure, what do we go with there? She'll probably get another big wing if we're gonna send Aaron Nesmith away. And Nicholas Batum is 33 years old, so he will regress as well. But Nicky Batum is actually just a really solid NBA player. I'm only giving him a 1-year deal though. There's no way for me to give you anything else than that with your old self. But a 1-year deal to come to Boston to the place of backup minutes, we'll do that. All right, so I'm pretty sure Malcolm Brogdon is gonna regress to like a 81 after the season, but I'm not really worried about that because even with 81, he's improving a lot of the things around his team. After we sign Al Horford, this no longer makes sense financially, but that's why we throw Aaron Nesmith into this trade. They say no. All right. I kind of expected they would say no. This guy's a ball hawk. I love that player archetype. That means he's just going to go out there and defend. I don't know anything about him. He might be the best defensive player in this draft in real life. I have no idea. He's got clamp pick dodger. He's got pickpocket. I mean, he's a couple years away from being a rotational player for us. But, you know, I think he's here to stay for the foreseeable future. Only 19 years old. Who knows? He develops under Nicholas Batum and Marcus Smart defensively. Come on, dog. And Al Horford, you're going to learn a lot from those dudes on the perimeter. Okay. Obviously, I don't want to give up a first-round pick because we gave up a first-round pick to get Derek White. I don't want to give up another first-round pick to get rid of Derek White. So I'm hoping that a couple seconds, including Portland and the Rockets, gets it done. Those could be 2 higher-end second-round picks, 31, 32, 33. And just like that, we got Malcolm Brogdon to be that new Derek White who defends well, but now he's better offensively. He's also a good playmaker, something they could have used. I don't know what the closing lineups look like for this season, but I know we got a ton of different options now. So point guard play is Marcus Smart and Peyton Pritchard. I think Peyton Pritchard's probably going to get a little bit better once we hit player progression. We got Jaylen Brown and Malcolm Brogdon. We have Jason Tatum, Nick Batum. We got Al Horford, Grant Williams, and then Daniel Tice has to get moved. Daniel Tice has to get moved for somebody that's more impactful as a backup center. I mean, the good thing is that backup center doesn't really exist because Al Horford plays both positions. So when Robert Williams is going to the bench, now we got Al Horford that can slide over. But I just want somebody that can be a little bit more productive there. So I got to figure out what that looks like. What is a team that would get like swap backup centers that makes sense for us to get better? That's the hard part. I mean, we don't have a ton of assets other than our pick equity, but I don't know if I want to be giving up pick equity for a trade like this. Hassan Whiteside is sitting in free agency, and he'll basically sign for the minimum. I also see Maxi Kleber here. He's going to regress. I think Hassan will regress as well, but his regression won't be as bad. I'm bringing Hassan in, and maybe we keep Daniel Tice around for the trade deadline and use him as salary filler to go get somebody to fill a role or something. You know, obviously we were just 2 games away from winning the NBA Finals last year. I think we got better. This could be a season, but if it's not, I like some of the stuff we got to do a little repeat. So because of plan progression, Peyton Pritchard is the best point guard on the roster. I'm still starting Marcus Smart for obvious reasons, but Peyton Pritchard might be the X factor long term, bro. Real talk. He might be the X factor long term. Okay, so the start lineup is intact. The one that you just saw get to the NBA Finals. But on the bench, Peyton Pritchard is there. Malcolm Brogdon did not regress. Grant Williams jumped up to a 77, which is great for us. Hassan Whiteside didn't regress. And you know what? We should run it as a 10. I think we did a lot to make this team better. Wait, let me give Marcus Smart more minutes because he was just the defensive player of the year. Let's not look past that. He deserves some more minutes than that. All right, first game of the season against Atlanta. We end up winning barely, but we got out there and got a win. And that's all I really care about. Is Peyton Pritchard about to come in and be the savior of the Boston Celtics, bro? We, through the first 2 weeks of the season, have not lost. Our first loss is a blowout where we gave up 153 points. That's not like us. But, hey, we might have been tired of just busting people and just going crazy. Malcolm Brogdon off the bench averaging 18. Where's Peyton Pritchard? Okay, so he's averaging 12. Bro, Peyton Pritchard is going to be the guy for us. Nick Batum. Nick Batum sucks. That's okay, though. His shot tendency is that low. His close shot mid-range tendency is super high. I'm just so confused. These tendencies are so weird to me. I thought he would. I don't know. He's not shooting the ball well at all. He's getting minutes, but I'm okay with that. Because what did we pay? I think did we give him minimum or did we give them the mid-level? We might have given him the mid-level. We gave him 3.2. 3.2, we're going to have like $12 million to potentially trade to make our team better at the deadline. Al Horford is okay. Yeah, Yeah, I think we can win a championship. I mean, of course we can. We were just in the finals last year. We got better. But I think our chances of winning the finals is actually super high through the first 2 weeks of the season. We've been killing people. Make sure I go to about the trade deadline just in case. Larry Market and Karis LeVert, no thank you. I don't even want other GMs to call my phone. We doing so good. Don't call me. Let me call you and tell you who I want from your roster. All right, so the boys are incredible. Like, this is not even a challenge type incredible. We were going so incredible. You know, when I do these videos, I download someone else's save file because they already got the draft class in the right order. They got the draft lottery in the right order. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing it like that. Like Christian Wood was on the right team. You know what I'm saying? So I'm simulating and we dominating. I'm like, bro, they had to adjust these sliders, right? Nope. It's the way we run it every single day on this channel. So the boys are just that nice. And if Jason Tatum made an MVP conversations after what he's doing right now, I don't know who should. He's number 3. I'll take number 3. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You're going to get Luka Doncic, who has. This is the first time I'm doing a video where Christian Wood is on the other team. Ben Simmons is coming off the bench. Christian Wood is coming off the bench as well. And he's averaging 16, 7, and 2. Who's starting over you over there? What's going on in Dallas? Not saying that y'all wrong. I mean, y'all might be killing the game. I don't really know. They're not killing the game, and they got Christian Wood start. Okay. Spencer Dinwiddie at the 4. They signed Drummond. Hey, so be it. What am I supposed to do about it? It's not my team. I only worry about one team today, and that's the Boston Celtics. So this is a team that's selling. We already did a deal with them earlier, so I don't feel like they're going to do a deal with us later. I got $12 million to mess around with. So let's figure out what $12 million could get us on the market. Jakob Poeltl, add him to my list. I know we have Hassan Whiteside, but come on, let's be real. Upgrade. So that's person number 1 on the selling team. The Bulls are selling again about $12 million. Why am I looking at I know what your contracts are. About $12 million. We don't need like a Kobe White type dude. How much they pay him? $7 million this year and 17 start next year. They don't really have anything that we'd be really interested in. Horton Tucker's on the roster, so some trades have been going on in this simulation. $12 million got a couple different dudes on this team that we could potentially get. We can bring back Marcus Morris Sr. He's not that good anymore, so maybe that's not the case. Maybe not a player we should go after. Too expensive Norman Powell. I thought they'd have more people to get, but they don't. I guess they've also been doing trades around here. All right, so let's look at rebuilding teams now, because selling teams don't got a ton. Rebuilding teams, the only person that's untouchable is Kay Cunningham. Jeremy Grant is making 20 M's. I don't think we're going to have the money to make that up, but if he's on a selling team, a rebuilding team, obviously he's on the last year of his deal. We could use a player like that just because it just adds more depth to the team. John Wall is playing basketball again. You love to see that, I guess. You know, he's averaging 15 and 5. Not very great on the assistant like John Wall we used to. Like this version of John Wall with 10 assists was the reg. But hey, he's back hooping. That's all I really care about. But yeah, the rebuilding teams don't have a ton. Lou Dort is, man, I forgot how small of a contract Lou Dort got. Kuzma makes about exactly the amount of money that we have. He's having a decent season. I add him to the list. I feel like he's low on. Oh, our list is full. Who else is on our list? Zion, Nikola Jokic, Pat Connaughton. I didn't add those people. I didn't add those people at all. Either way, let's go back. I'm adding him to my list. He's probably lower on the priority list, but still, you know, he's got to be added nonetheless, just because he's making about the money that we need. But that's pretty much it. Okay, here's another rebuilding team. We got Harrison Barnes, but that, you know what I'm saying, that doesn't move the needle for us at all. And that's pretty much it. Okay, cool. So I think out of all of these, I would prioritize Jeremy Grant first. The only problem is, like I said, we got 12 million. He's making like 20 million. So I don't think it's going to work. But, you know, there is some type of wiggle room as far as it's this much percentage of what the two people are making or whatever. So it's this. We got to make up 10 million. And obviously, like I said, we don't have that. We have this. So he is off the board. Jakob Poeltl was next, and Jakob Poeltl is just like, will be the perfect backup for us. I mean, he's playing the backup position for them this season, and these are his per 36 if he got the right amount of minutes. Yeah, so Yusuf Nurkic came in, so they don't even need him anymore, and he's on the last year of his deal. You can't trade players who are not signed. Sign them first. What the heck does that mean? I've never in my 100+ video. Oh, now it's working. Okay, great. Forget it. They're saying no. As they should. You like, look at the overalls of these players. Look at the overall of this player. Do we have our own first round pick this season? We do. 2023, our top 5 protected. They got the deal done. Top 10 protected. We're not a top, you know, that's a end of the first round pick. So we didn't really have any need for it. And I love it. I love it. Now, the last thing we have to do is go back to this team intel, go to one of these selling teams and find a super cheap backup small forward, like Garrison Matthews type cheap. And we try to throw Hassan Whiteside to that team. Actually, I kind of like Gary Harris more because he's a better defender, making about the same amount of money. And then there was a point in time where Gary Harris defensively was that. And I guess this season he wasn't bad either. But like when he was with the Nuggets, and one of the reasons why they gave him all the money that they gave him is because his defense was on point. And obviously it may not be that anymore, but it's still pretty good. So I'll add him to my list there. I'm thinking Hassan Whiteside in the second round pick is going to make it work, you know? Is he the only guy I'm really interested in? Dang, Aaron Nesmith is a two-way player. I sent him there, and bro, not even really on the NBA roster anymore. I'm sorry to do that to your career, but like, what else was I supposed to do? Javonte Green is actually another interesting player. We can bring him back to the C's. He's got 0 defensive badge. I'm sick. Get him off my list. I expect him to have more than 0 defensive badges. That's low-key. That's actually disrespectful as heck to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I watched that boy play 80 games. I don't know how many games he actually played this season, but every game of his Bulls career so far, he gives it all defensively. He deserves at least hustler. At the bare minimum, he deserves hustler. But I'm going to go ahead and try to get Gary Harris. He's actually 2-star value, which scares me a little bit. Hassan Whiteside is less than that. I will give you this second round pick from the Magic. They want Matt Ryan. They'll give us Jason Preston. That don't mean anything to me. And just like that, we bulked up our team just a little bit more. I'm going to make his backup position, his first position small forward, just so the numbers look a little bit better. And just like that, 2 trades at the near deadline that I think can propel us when we already worked amazing. So new star lineup looks like that. Well, it's the same star lineup, but off the bench, still Malcolm Brogdon, still Peyton Pritchard. What are you averaging, big homie? He is averaging 10 and 4, but the average is, let's be honest. Malcolm Brogdon deserves 6th man of the year. He deserves it. Let me see who the competition is one more time. Oh, well, it's Ben Simmons, whose overall counting stats are going to look a lot better. Either way, we got a bunch of people. John Isaac plays. Whoa, what did that trade look like? Hold on, I'm invested. Alex Caruso for Horton Tucker is a terrible trade if you're the Bulls. Duncan Robinson got traded for Otto Porter and Joe Harris. How did Duncan Robinson even end up there? I'm not completely sure. Derek White got traded to the Mavericks. The Pacers turned Derek White into a first-round pick. That's a W. Now, they did get the contract that is Davis Bertans, but they traded a guy they were a rebuilding team. They got a first-round pick for a dude. You know, that's really, really, really good. Brook Lopez and a first-round pick for John Isaac. That's the trade we came to look for. Buddy Hield got traded. So there's been a ton of movement in this video, which I love. I like movement. Luka won MVP. We'll see about that. Weren't they a fringe playoff team? His numbers are crazy, though. Jabari Smith wins Rookie of the Year. He fell to number 4. That's a blessing if you're a Kings fan. Ben Simmons wins 6th man of the year. John Isaac, Defensive Player of the Year. So John Isaac and Giannis play for the same team right now. We're going to have to go through that team one way or another, but we got Rob Williams winning the Most Improved Player. You love to see Time Lord do that. He improved for sure, but most improved? I don't know. We'll take the accolade. We'll take the award. Ime Udoka also co-sets to win 70 total games. I think that's supposed to be me. That is me. You see the beard is about the same. You feel me? I've been growing my beard for 3 months, and this is the best we got. It's bad, but it's going to come together eventually. Only time will tell. No All-NBA first team for one of our players, but Tatum is on the second team. So a little knock from last season, but still, I think he'll be okay with being on the second team if that means we go out there and get a championship. Yeah, the Bucks... The Bucks have these 2 dudes holding it down defensively. Do they both start? They didn't make the playoffs. I'm sorry, my defensive player of the year can't even be on a team that didn't make the playoffs. Has that ever happened in NBA history? I don't really know. I don't even know. Y'all didn't make the playoffs with Giannis and the defensive player of the year. Oh, the defensive player of the year was coming off the bench. That's got to be a first as well. They were the most average team in the NBA as far as point differential go, but lost a lot more games. This team made the play-in. This is a team we made a trade with that was selling and rebuilding. We sent them Derek White. They got Derek White and sent them to another team for a first-round pick. Like, their rebuild is going pretty good. To be a play-in team and still have other picks and others, whatever. So shout out to them. The worst team over here is the Spurs, who got a first-round pick for us. And Nicholas Batum went there and became a starter. So shout out to him. And he ended up shooting 39% from 3, so that's great. They had a lot of bigs after we gave them Daniel Tice. Not my problem. My problem right now is what team? Who's our team? The 76ers in the first round? Okay. All right. On the good side, the last time we played against the 76ers in the playoffs, we won. So that's fun. We beat them. But not obviously this team's a little bit different than that one. Because last time it was just Joel Embiid, if I'm not mistaken. Ben Simmons was injured. We swept them, if I'm not mistaken. But now they have James Harden, who was just an All-NBA player. They got Tyrese Maxey, who's 86 overall. They got Peyton Pritchard starting. I'm sorry, Marcus Smart is still my starting point guard on this team. I'm actually surprised that I'm taking the minutes away from Gary just because it's the playoffs and we need Tatum to be averaging 40 minutes per. Are we ready to go against the Philadelphia 76ers? Game 1 is a Boston Celtics win very convincingly. You turn that game off in the third quarter. Game 2, you turn that game off in the third quarter. Game 3, you did not turn that game off. It was down to the wire, but Jason Tatum showed up, and just like that, we are out of the first round. And it was the first round, so it was not that much of a matchup. We beat this team last year. It took us 7, but we beat this team last year. Okay, all right. What changes have they made? They got Chris Boucher starting at the 4, but that's pretty much it. I wonder if their bench obviously looks different because I saw they made some trades to get rid of Duncan Robinson. Gabe Vincent is still here. Max Strus is here. Karis LeVert is here. They got Taurean Prince here, so they redid their entire bench. They even got IT. They redid their entire bench. So that's a good thing for them because I don't know if the starters were the problem. I mean, now they got Tyler Hero in the starting lineup. We win game 1, a close one, a down to the wire one, a dog fight, but we get those. Game 2 is also a win. Am I burying it? Because, I mean, are we just the most dominant team imaginable? The answer might be yes. Who are we going against in the finals? The Charlotte Hornets. Kenny Atkinson got these boys in the conference finals as a play-in team. They got Zubac. They needed a center, and they got a center. You love that for them. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be enough, I don't think. But PJ is still there. Kelly Oubre is still there. James Bouknight, are you getting minutes? James Bouknight is getting minutes, and he's making the most out of it. In the playoffs, he is 50% from field, 55% from 3, so he's amazing. He's getting his minutes. They got Nikola Jovic on their bench. Obviously, he's a little bit away from being a rotational piece. They got Kofi Coburn, right? That's how you spell it? Is that how you pronounce it? Because I know it's not pronounced phonetically, you know. Coburn. I think it's Coburn. They got him, who they drafted in the second round. And they got Taco. Okay. I mean, he averaged 12 rebounds per game for them this season. So he's a real-life killer. That's a Boston Celtic legend, if you ask me. Game 1 is a win. This is a 7 seed, y'all. They lost by a ton. Oh, they're the first team to take a game from us, though. LaMelo's is a hooper. But we come back in game 3 and get that win. Game 4, we lose. Game 5, we win. Don't go 7. Hey, we applause to the Charlotte Hornets. Because them doing this and being in this position is a huge W. They just aren't ready just yet as we get to the finals to go against the Mavs. I said we'll see you later. And you know what? Weren't they like the 9th seed at the trade deadline? They really turned it up, right? They really turned it up and got all the way up to the 5 seed. And here they are in the NBA Finals. See what your team looks like again? Yeah, Dinwiddie is starting at the... So Christian Wood was the 6th man. Dinwiddie starting at the 4, right? That's what they did. Game 1, they win. Oh, snap. Oh, okay, who's guarding Luka again? Is my defensive player of the year supposed to be guarding him? Yep. I'm switching it. Dude, Derek White is the shooting guard. Derek White with back-to-back finals appearances on different teams. They changed their starting lineup. They won game 1. It was like, we are satisfied. Let's switch it up and make everything different. Everything is different right here. The shooting guard, the small forward, the power forward, and the center are all different than who started in the game number 1. That's terrible coaching. That's terrible coaching, Jason. But I'm making Jaylen Brown guard Luka because though Marcus Smart is a hound, I think Jaylen Brown's size, where do I go for that? Jaylen Brown's size is going to be the determining factor to not stopping Luka because you'd be crazy to think you could do that. But to slow him down. Game 2, we win. And what did he do? He had a really good game still. But hey, I'm just so surprised that they had a team that was successful in game 1 and decided to. This is their 3rd different lineup in 3 NBA Finals appearances or 3 NBA Finals games. Why would you not stick? Oh, that's the defense, and he fouled out. Whoo, that's the defense we want. How do you change your starting lineup that many times in the NBA Finals? I'm so curious. Like, you know, occasionally you see 1 or 2. Like Steve Kerr brought Otto Porter to the starting lineup in real life this season, but that was it. I cannot believe this team just really did that. And then the another different lineup. The only game they won was with the first lineup. That's insane to me. Why would you do such a thing to yourself? I don't know. But Malcolm Brogdon was a huge pickup, as you can see in the closeout game, being the most impactful player. Shot is so efficiently. I mean, maybe not the most impactful because we got 33, 11, and 8 with just 2 turnovers. Either way, all of the pieces we traded for ended up being successful. Even Jakob off the bench gave us quality minutes, averaging 2.5 blocks per game in the 36 per. And then, yeah, that's how you win the championship if you're the Boston Celtics. Just run it back with a couple small changes. Get Gary Harris. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave it a like. Thank you so much for all the support this week. Come back on Monday because we will have another 5 bangers lined up. It's the off-season time. Go subscribe to the other channel. We talk about drafts. We're going to talk about trades. We're going to talk about expectations. We're going to talk about everything. I'm telling you, the Kenny Friel channel is my favorite channel to upload to. I'm just being honest with you. So go subscribe, man.